I came to the conclusion that one of the key metrics to launch a successful podcast must be consistency. But well, that's not always easy. Recording is fun, but when it comes to editing, most people give up quickly. Especially when you have a video podcast with multiple speakers and 1 hour long sessions. It can get quite time consuming, time that most part-time podcasters don't have. But I have some exciting news for you. With the extreme AI revolution in the past year, there are now tools that make it as easy to stay consistent as never before. And that's where Riverside comes in, who's kindly sponsoring today's video. Text-based editing, auto dead space cutouts and captions, AI show notes and summaries, and a bunch of other tools. As a quick disclaimer, I only talk about tools on this channel that I personally use and believe that are helping you to be more productive. And Riverside is definitely one of them. I believe this is currently the best tool out there that offers an all-in-one solution for podcasting. And the best, they leverage the power of AI, which takes a large amount of work from your shoulders. I always get frustrated about the production workflow. First you have to schedule the meetup for the recording, then you get endless audio files from both speakers that you have to edit in a software like Audition, then you need to upload it to your podcast feed, write all the show notes, and finally click publish. But well, it didn't end here, you also need to promote it somewhere on social media. So overall, very time consuming and the opposite of being efficient and productive. So imagine now you could do all those steps in one place, and that's exactly what Riverside does. So I'm gonna walk you now through my recording and editing process to show you how easy it actually works. So first of all, let's go over the recording process. The really great thing here, I don't need to invite my guests physically anymore to get a good video and sound quality. I can simply start a new session inside the Riverside studio and invite my guests with the link. They simply click on the link in the invitation and can join the recording. And that even if they don't have an account. So now the magic. All video and audio gets recorded locally on each participant's device and then uploaded to my Riverside account. That ensures to get the best quality possible, even if your connection is not as stable. Besides that, there are also a few other cool features in the recording room. It allows you to turn on noise cancellation, which is honestly super useful if you live somewhere where you just need to use an aircon. In the studio you also have settings for quality and other relevant things. It's also useful to have the media panel. So let's say you have an intro you always use or different sound effects throughout the episode. So instead of adding them in post-production, which always takes a lot of time because you need to look up the right timing. So instead you can add them right away. And the best, it gets added on a separate audio track, so you still have adjustment options in case you need them. So in case you're already excited to give Riverside a try, simply click on the link in the video description. And I have a special discount for you. If you use the code MarcusScully, you will get 15% off your subscription. But hey, they also have a free version, so if you just want to give it a try first, you can absolutely do that. By the way, another small trick that helps you to reduce time with recording is this. Create a podcast setup that stays always in place and is ready when you need it. I know from myself, it always took me at least 20 minutes to set everything up. Camera, microphone, test all the settings and so on. And that sucked because it created like a certain barrier that stopped me from recording. Luckily, it's a thing that can be easily fixed. If you organize your studio or desk the way that you have your microphone and camera always ready, all you need to do now is to sit down and start recording. This really pays off in the long run. Ideally, you would even have your own camera. But I know not all of us are swimming in money, including me. So what you can do instead is to just place your tripod and leave it there. And when you need your camera, you just attach it there and you're ready to go. Okay, so after recording, it's time for the edit. The great thing, we can do that right in Riverside. There's no need to download any files and everything happens right in their cloud. Inside the studio, I usually use their magic tool to remove all silences at first. Alone, this saves so much time. It always took me ages to go through everything and cut out all the dead spaces. So now there's the part that is extremely powerful. Text-based editing. All I have to do now is go through the AI-generated transcript and check for possible mistakes and sentences that I re-recorded. And then simply hit delete on my keyboard. And it creates the cuts accordingly. I just love that. Also pretty useful if you're looking to find a certain word or section of the recording, you can simply search for it in the search bar. Also this is extremely powerful since it saves you time with endless re-listening and scrolling to find a specific section. What I also like about the new studio, you can now see the different speakers in separate colors. And that in the transcript as well as in the timeline. That makes it really quick to see which speaker is talking and also helps in the edit. Additionally, it's now also possible to rearrange clips in the timeline in case you want to make any adjustments sense here. I could, for example, also add any other media or other edits in the timeline, split the main clip and put it wherever I desire. That could be, for example, useful if you want to add sponsored segments or if you want to visualize anything. Okay, all that's left to do now is to choose a layout. I usually use a grid layout like that, but there's also a cool picture-in-picture layout that recognizes the active speaker with AI. Oh, and in case you want to add captions, that's now also super easy. Just one click and here we go. Also, that used to be an entire different step with switching back and forth between different softwares. And now everything is just in one place thanks to Riverside and the power of AI. So now the episode will be ready and good to go. In order to publish the episode now, all I have to do is to click on share and set my export settings. There I'd usually also select normalize audio levels and background noise reduction. So now there's another great time saver. If you have your podcast hosted right on Spotify, you can connect your account with Riverside and directly upload it to Spotify and other platforms. Easy as one click. But there's one thing I usually hated to do, and that was writing show notes. A kinda extreme annoying step. Luckily, also here AI can help us. In Riverside, there's an option to let AI generate show notes for you. After one click, you get a short summary of your episode, but also key takeaways as bullet points. I really like those because they always give you a good overview of what the episode is about. And another thing that is especially useful for YouTube, it auto-generates chapters with timestamps. So you simply have to copy and paste them. So all in all, that process was so quick. But there's one very useful feature that I haven't showed you yet. You probably heard about tools that can find highlights of videos with AI and generate short videos. The great thing, we also have such a feature right here. If you go to my episode, I'll see all my editing variations I made. So I could rather create a new one manually and select a certain selection of the episode, or I simply use the Magic Clips feature. With one click, it searches for highlights and creates a few versions of edits. Now I can open one of them and do other fine adjustments, like for example adding captions or changing the layout. But usually there isn't much to do anymore. It's already set to a 9:16 ratio and basically ready to publish on my socials. So isn't that crazy? I don't know how much I used to spend on this entire process a couple of years ago. Now I can do all of this in less than an hour. I think it makes the whole idea of hosting a podcast and staying consistent way more sustainable. So if you're interested in implementing this workflow and saving hours of editing time, check Riverside out. And don't forget to use the code MarcusGali to get 15% off your subscription. Alright folks, that's it for today's video. I'd love to hear more about your editing workflow. And do you already use AI? Oh, and if you found that video helpful, make definitely sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss out any upcoming videos. Until then, see you in the next one.